Ah, there you are, my dear. I was beginning to wonder whether you forgot about my tea. Oh, no need to apologize. I am aware you have many responsibilities. What is it that kept you, my dear? I see. The kitchen personnel confuses my preference rather often these days. I wonder whether it is time to let go of some of the less reliable servants. I trust you personally made sure this cup of tea is the correct kind, then. Delightful. Why don't you sit next to me on this sofa? Let's have a little chat. No need to be shy, dear. You are one of my favorite servants, after all. Reliable, polite, and hardworking. Let me know if I'm wrong. I believe it was my late mother who first employed you. You've been serving my family for a very long time. My mother has always had a good eye for personnel. She was kind, warm-hearted, and she knew when she met someone of those same qualities. Me, on the other hand, well, I'm sure you noticed that some of your newer colleagues have been, well, lacking. Some don't remember their tasks, some interrupt my schedule, and some are incredibly uncoordinated. I'm sure you've heard about the, how should I put it? Let's just say there's been an incident involving a bottle of expensive red wine. Stained carpets aside, my dear, I did not call you here just to gossip. I respect your time. So now, I will come to the purpose of this conversation. You are my favorite servant, dear, and for good reason. So I intend to trust you with an important assignment. You would be required to keep it hidden from the other servants, though. Do you feel up to this? I do not intend to plague you with secrecy. Very well. I'm glad you accept. Now let me explain. Recently, a lot of things have gone missing from my quarters. First, it was things as simple as a golden spoon or some of my stationery items. I did not think much of it. Even I can misplace my belongings from time to time. However, the person behind this started gaining courage. A watch went missing, some of my rings vanished, and I even noticed the decorations on the hallways were looking a little more sparse than usual. Entire paintings in golden frames. Gone. As you could imagine, my dear, it is of my utmost interest to find this presumptuous thief. The butlers, the guards, even the gardener. Every single one of them could be the culprit. This is where you come into play, dear. I want you to keep your ears and eyes open. Talk to the maids, the butlers, the guards, even the gardener. Take a look around the servants' quarters. See whether anyone possesses a suspicious amount of wealth. I want you to find out who has been stealing from me. Do you feel prepared for this task? Very well, then. I will no longer keep you from your chores. Good luck, my dear. And please, let me know if you come across anything.
Oh, Christ! Watch where you're going, you idiot! Some of us have places to be. Not everyone can spend their days licking the master's boots. Great. Now you made me drop my... Never mind. One word about this, and you're dead.
Finally, you've arrived. My dear, I am sure you are aware of why I called you here. Yes, this is in fact about the missing items. Or rather, about a specific missing possession of mine. which I held very dearly. No, it is my turn to speak. You will get your chance eventually. For years, my family has given you work, a place to sleep, food to eat, and you have cared for me ever since I was a little boy, even though you were barely more than a child yourself. And throughout all this time, I assumed you were loyal to me. You can imagine my surprise this morning when I was approached by a maid who let me know she saw you with said item. A ruby in the shape of a teardrop, shimmering like freshly drawn blood, attached to a golden chain. You've been working in this manner for long enough to know I'm describing the necklace my mother used to wear. She wore it every day, even on her last. If you are truly in possession of the pendant, it'd be best for you to hand it over now. So it is true after all. I didn't want to fully believe it. Not in 1,000 years would I have dared to assume you were behind this. And yet the evidence is before me, as clear as daylight. I do not want to hear your excuses. Spare me the details of your betrayal. How could you have done this to me? To take the one thing whose absence you know would hurt me the most. Not the slightest amount of blush came across your cheeks when I confided in you. When I showed you my trust by giving you this important task. This must have been going on for a long time, if you were able to lie to me so shamelessly. I believed you were one of the only trustworthy servants I had left. And I almost considered you more than just that. And by the way you smiled at me every afternoon when you served my tea. How you always made sure everything was exactly to my liking. I assumed I wasn't just a master to you either. But it appears looks can be deceiving. I cannot believe you have manipulated me all this time. Not just me. You also fooled my dearest mother. You are but a dirty liar. How could you ever break my heart like that? Do you have no shame? Stealing her most prized possession. Toying with her legacy. I'm out of words. Do you have the slightest idea how you made me feel? No, dear, don't. Please. I couldn't bear to see you being taken away by the guards. Just leave. Leave my estate and never turn back. Leave already! Go! Don't make this any harder on me than it already is. To think, I almost gifted this necklace to you. How could I have been so blind?